All eyes are on the current champion, seeking his fourth consecutive STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series U.S. Championship, Matt Coger.
To get to this point, I guess it would be dedication. Really, when you get up there to the log, it's just you and that log.
He's being chased by a squadron of hungry axemen. Nathan Waterfield.
To win this thing would be unreal. I mean, people don't understand how much we put into this.
West Virginia's Jason Lentz.
Dad's getting old now, and he would like to see me carry the torch.
Walt Page from the West.
It takes a lot of time to be able to compete at this level, a lot of dedication. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to give Matt a run for his money this year.
The best in the country have gathered in Chicago for the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series U.S. Championship.
I see the fields burning, 'cause hell is coming through. I can't stop the dogs of war. I can't stop the dogs of war. I can't stop the dogs of war.
Well, today we crown the country's champion. Today it's the finals of the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series U.S. Championships presented by Ram. 8 athletes have advanced to today here at the Convention Center in Tinley Park, Illinois in the Chicago Southland. Big crowd on hand. Tommy Sanders, Kevin Holtz, and Kevin, they'll be put through 3 chopping, 3 sawing events, and you have to say we got one giant favorite in here.
Well, yeah, everyone's looking at Matt Coger. He's already three-peated. He's going for his 4th win in a row. We haven't seen that sort of domination since the Aussies and the New Zealanders left the U.S. STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series. Yep. And the question is, if someone's going to beat Matt Coger, who will it be? I'm looking at guys, obviously, like Jason Lentz.
A lot of talent aspiring to that trophy today, but will it be the man, the first American to ever win a 4-peat, 4 in a row? The STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series U.S. Championships presented by Ram. The competition starts, as always, with maybe the most daunting and dangerous of all the disciplines. This is the springboard jump. Well, here we go, hole number 1. Matt Slingerland, the youngest competitor in the field, did just manage to get by his old dad in the semifinals. Arden Coger Jr., been in this position, a former champion, always a threat to win it all, even still today. Calvin Willard, a fantastic performance in the semifinals has gotten him here. And Jason Lentz, our runner-up from last year.
All right, gentlemen. Timers ready.
We talked about this in the semifinals. I'm looking for that mental maturity from Jason Lentz, and we saw it in the semifinals. He looked like he was much more settled down, except when it came to the end of the day in the hot saw. Then things nearly came unraveled for him. Calvin Willard doesn't have a lot of time on the TIMBERSPORTS stage, and it's showing here. He's kind of getting a little bit wonky with that first board hole. Matt Slingerland, like you said, bested his father. He moved on to the finals for the first time ever, and he's looking to have a good, clean climb. You want to see these guys, especially on this second board hole, a bit of upslope, just like Matt Slingerland has, and he's getting back away from that pole. He doesn't have his toes shoved in that pocket. He's able to get full extension on the axe and be comfortable, or at least as comfortable as you can, with your feet 6 feet up off the ground.
Jason Lentz had a time just over a minute in the semifinals, looking very comfortable right now.
Yeah, a little bit of sag to that board and a little bit of list to that board. It's actually leaning towards us here at the production table. He's around the back, 2 hits, 3, 4 hits will slash it off from the back. Matt Slingerland, though, hats off to that guy, right on his heels.
There it is, Arden Coger Jr. over a minute 20. Calvin Willard in 3rd place. Matt Slingerland, an excellent effort for the youngest competitor in our field. And Jason Lentz, more than 10 seconds faster than his effort in the semifinals. Is that a sign of things to come?
5 more events, man. 5 more. excited? Yeah, can't wait. The strongest competitors right now would be Jason Lentz. You know, he's doing really well. So he's another one that could potentially win it, just as long as he gets his mental game together.
Station 1, it's going to be Walt Page, a good time, just over 1 minute in the semifinals. Nathan Waterfield, one of the guys who was definitely part of the equation right there till the bitter end in New York City last year. Super Dave Jewett, an excellent time and an excellent performance in the springboard in the semifinals. And there's your favorite, looking for the four-peat, Matthew Koger.
All right, gentlemen.
You know, Nathan Waterfield, as you mentioned, in the conversation right up to the end in New York City, he was in a tie with Jason Lentz, had to have a saw-off, wound up third instead of second. Jason Lentz got that honor. But, you know, Waterfield is trying to come in a little bit more mellow this year. We're looking for, again, that mental calmness as these guys come out on the biggest stage in U.S. lumberjack competition. And look at stand number 1, Walt Page, graduated from Cal Poly many years ago now and is making a name for himself here in STIHL Timber Sports lore. Dave Jewett, though, look at stand number 4. Trouble exiting, abandoning that top board, and going in to clean it out. This is not the start he needed. Walt Page looking to best that time of 52 seconds posted by Jason Lentz, and
he's gonna do it.
He does it! Unbelievable! Matt Koger right on his heels, but it is going to be Walt Page, our champion in the springboard.
There you go, sensational times in the springboard chop to kick off these proceedings here. And Walt Page, the man who works in the woods in the Sierras up above Fresno in California, comes up with a sensational time of 46.13.
There was an engine with murderous blood. It was damn.
So a bark beetle, it's an insect. It's killing about 90% of our ponderosa pine here. It's going to drastically change the timber stand for our area. What we're really looking for is we're looking for green trees that have got sap coming down the sides of them, because that's an indicator that the beetles are in the tree right now. So those are the trees that you really want to remove. So if you can get the tree removed while they're trying to complete the life cycle, it takes those beetles at least out of the area and removes them from the population. So it's about our only method of dealing with the beetles in this situation. So my brother, he's working on getting the little one cut out in front of us right now, getting it down and out and worked up so that we can get this bigger sugar pine on top of it. So the beetles have already left this tree, and they're right now they're in a green one, but there should be some dead beetles. That's one right there. That's a dead one. Yes, lots and lots of them.
Walt Page at work in the Sierras, obviously a man on a mission. The chainsaw, a big tool in his arsenal, that's for sure, and he's got the lead so far. After one discipline, the chainsaws are coming back out for our next one, the stock saw, when we return. Also, a little bit later, you can't come to the city of Chicago without spending some time around pizzas. Let's take 3 of our competitive lumberjacks and put them against a competitive eater. And then we start eating pizza. That's when we return.
The STIHL Timber Sports Series on ABC is brought to you by Ram, Guts, Glory, Ram. Duluth Trading, designed and tested by tradesmen. And John Deere, nothing runs like a deer.
U.S. Championships, the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series, the final day of competition. 3 of our guys who made the finals. That man right there, Jason Lentz in the middle, Nathan Waterfield, and the defending champion, Matt Koger. These guys have spent a lot of time training, and with guys this size, well, they've spent a lot of time eating as well, so why not pit them against a true competitive eater? And the subject is pizza.
Chicago pizza is confusing. Everyone thinks it's deep dish. We don't even make a deep dish at Aurelio's. And I would say more than 90% of the Chicagoland pizzerias make thin crust.
My name is Pat Deep Dish Bertoletti. I'm a competitive eater from Chicago. I got into competitive eating just growing up, loving food, overeating, and I have 35 world records, another 15 in the Guinness Book, and I just love to eat and I love food. Probably my best records would be 21 pounds of grits in 10 minutes, 275 pickled jalapenos in 8 minutes, 444 wings in 30 minutes, 266 plum dumplings in 30 minutes, and 15 and a half pounds of strawberry shortcake in 8 minutes. So.
Yeah, so the 3 of us, Matt, Jason, and I, are going to try and out-eat Patrick. And it's going to be tough, but we'll do our best.
We got 2 really fast eaters on our team. I'm just an endurance eater, so I don't know how much I can contribute to this match. But we're going to try it.
They might cut down trees, but I eat. That's what I do.
And I count of 3 on your marks. Get set, go!
Come on, folks, let them hear it. That's simple.
Oh, well.
Bucket of water, you got it covered. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Now they're still looking neck and neck, folks. Come on, don't laugh. Come on, Steel, let's do it. Don't look, keep it down.
I was more interested in watching him eat than eat my own pizza. Then Matt started laughing. I couldn't get nothing down.
Game effort from our TIMBERSPORTS competitors. Just fallen a bit short, but they're competitive guys. My guess is they'll be ready to try that challenge again in about, maybe 4 hours or so. Meanwhile, though, we're back to the chopping and the sawing. Tinley Park, Illinois, U.S. Championships, the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series. Right now, on top, it's going to be Walt Page based on that win in the springboard chop as we head into discipline number 2, the stock saw. Well, the first heat of the stock saw would be a matchup between one of our former champions, Arden Koger Jr., on the right going up against Calvin Willard, and a good, solid effort from both competitors. Good racing, but it would be Arden Koger setting the time to beat at 12.35. Would that hold up? Nathan Waterfield, a 30-year-old from New York, going up against Walt Page, our leader early on in championship competition.
All right,
based on his win in the springboard chop.
2 guys have spent a lot of time with saws in their hands, but this is a different environment. Quick and clean to the wood. Listen to the saws. They're right in that sweet spot. There's some unsweetness though. Stand number 1, Nathan Waterfield, an enormous cut. He is running off that stage, and I'm guessing there's going to be a little bit of a meltdown as that penalty flag flies. Waterfield was one of my top picks to do exceptionally well here today, and there you see it, that purple line. That is where you cross over from the wood you're allowed to cut to the wood that our head judge, Rich Hallett, owns. You are not allowed in that zone. Here's another look at Waterfield's cut. Tons of wood to work with, and he just slams in for that second cut. Lost a bit of control. They've got 4 inches to make 2 cuts, and he's well over that line.
Walt Page, though, the good cut, puts him on the top of the leaderboard, 12 even ahead of Arden Koger Jr. In the foreground, defending champion, 3 years in a row, as a matter of fact, Matt Koger, Diana, West Virginia. From Pittsford, New York, Dave Jewett.
All right,
both are capable of great cuts in this event.
Contestants ready. 15 seconds to warm up your saws.
In terms of a ram points deficit, Dave Jewett's got to be feeling it. Ooh. That the springboard cut did not do him any good. Stock saw a bit hit and miss for him as well. We used to call him Captain Sixth Place. He's managed to sort that out a bit, hold out a top 3 finish in his pool in the stock saw in the semis. Very clean runs. Matt Koger just ripping off a little bit more.
There you go, excellent time for Matt Koger, 11.52, gets a little bit back from Walt Page, who bested him in the springboard chop. Arden Koger hanging on in 3rd place, 1 heat left to go. The final heat has all the promise of being a great one. On paper, it looks terrific. Jason Lentz and Matt Slingerland cut within 1/10 of a second of each other in the semis. Here they are in the last heat of the stock saw.
Well, it's great to see Matty Slingerland in the finals. He's been gunning for this and working for this, and something just kind of always gotten in his way. This year, that stock saw performance you mentioned in the semifinals, a piece of that puzzle that got him here to the finals. Nothing against Matty Slingerland, though. I'm really watching this stand number 1. I'm waiting to see how Jason Lentz will lay down this cut. We're seeing him just slightly more calm, cool, collected. I can't say enough. That mental maturity is going to be such a key if he's going to catch and pass and prevent Matt Koger from a 4th championship. Wow, quick and clean to the block. Jason Lentz and Matty Slingerland. Look at the switch from Slingerland on a bobble from Jason Lentz. Boy, that looks awful close for Jason Lentz. There's a bit of that mental meltdown. There it is, Jason Lentz, flag flying. He quickly exits that stage. Here's Jason Lentz on stand number 1 as he rifles down through this first cut. All things look good, a quick switch, but he misses the block by half a chain width. He reloads, resets, but overcompensates and ends up way too close to that line.
Didn't take Matt Koger long to get back on top. He does it with the win in the stock saw, 11.52, just ahead of Matt Slingerland, and Walt Page hanging in there in 3rd place. That does him a whole world of good in the point situation. There you go, Ram overall points, and Matt Koger back on track in his quest to win 4 national championships in a row. He can't shake Walt Page, though. And look at Matt Slingerland hanging in there very, very tough. Now in 4th place, the tie, Arden Koger Jr., Calvin Willard. They got some work to do, but this is work that's right up the alley of this man right here. Arden Koger Jr., the all-time best at the standing block chop, and Arden Koger Jr., a good guy to consult when you want to handicap this field.
The 3 people that I feel will excel in 2016 are Matt Koger, myself, and Jason Lentz. Matt is on a tear. I'm not going to deny it. It's going to be very difficult to dethrone him. If he doesn't perform to the utmost of his ability, I'll get him. I don't know if I'll be a spoiler, but I will be a thorn. I guarantee you that. If they're not on top of their game, then anything can happen.
These athletes in the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS series can feel a little bit alone sometimes. I mean, after all, you're the equipment manager, you're the coach, and you have to be the competitor as well. But when you look a little more deeply in it, it's really a family affair. Family plays a big part in all these guys' lives.
My wife is wonderful. She takes care of our 18-month-old daughter most of the time when I'm off, playing with my axes, and it's she works probably as hard as I do getting ready for this, taking care of the stuff that I don't have time to take care of when we're getting ready. So
you do have to find a good balance, but for me to support him, he loves it, and I think that's part of my job as a wife, is to support him fully, and it works out good for all of us too. We get to travel, we get to do things with him, so we make it a family event. He has gone a lot, and that's just part of how it goes, so we make the best of it, and we travel when we can, and just let him know that we're behind him 100%, and we're there for him.
Like, I'm fortunate enough that my wife was a competitor. I met her doing the sport, and so she understands that 2 months before STIHL TIMBERSPORTS series that I'm going to be gone. At 8 o'clock at night, when our daughter goes to bed, I'm going down to the shop, and I'll probably be there till midnight. Do I get hate mail from my family? No. My phone is full of messages this morning from my family saying, "Good luck, Nathan. We're behind you. We're here for you." So everybody understands, and it takes that understanding to be successful too.
What people don't see on the TIMBERSPORTS series is like the wonderful support of my wife. I mean, she's the one that built my training facility. I call it Muscle Hauler South. She makes it to where I can go train 2 or 3 days a week at my facility. If it weren't for my wife, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be where I'm at, and I wouldn't be as successful as I have been in the recent years.
U.S. Championships of the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series from Chicago. The poet called it the city of the big shoulders. We've seen some big shoulders in action today, powerful ones as well. Right now, after 2 events, there's our scoreboard right now, and Matt Coger, defending champion, on top. The rest of the 8 in pursuit. Right now, let's get the axes in hand and get right into it. The standing block is coming up.
Next discipline is the standing block. The standing block mirrors what a lumberjack might be doing in the woods if he didn't have a chainsaw or crosscut saw at his disposal. A 12-inch pine log is secured vertically in a stand. The contestant has marked out the area which he wants to chop, and he will cut in approximately halfway on the front before running around to the back side of the log and cutting halfway off. Powerful driving blows will take the log off of the stump. Fastest time wins.
Let's take a look at how our fastest time to start with came about. A 3-man heat in that first heat. Nathan Waterfield right there going up against Dave Jewett and Matt Slingerland. And it would be Nathan Waterfield coming off first, a pretty wide margin. Sets the time to beat it, just over 18 seconds. Calvin Willard cut sub-20 in the semifinals, as did his 2 competitors in this heat of the standing block chop. Walt Page in the center there. Walt Page second in Ram overall points, and Arden Coger Jr. in 18:31, a good standing block in the semis.
STIHL TIMBERSPORTS to me is my sanity. I practice law. I argue day in, day out. TIMBERSPORTS for me is simple. It's an axe, it's a log, it's me. And it's me on top of that axe, on top of that log, getting the most out of this body on a given day.
All right, gentlemen, timers ready, contestants ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Walt Page, as I mentioned, has that mental calmness, but I got to be honest, before this standing block cut, he looked pretty jittery up there, kind of jumping around. A rowdy front in the start of this 12-inch piece of pine. Arden Coger Jr. bringing a lot of force here. There's a bit of a meltdown for Walt Page, uncharacteristic for him. Oh, look at that. Look at the front of Walt Page's block. Walt, love you, man, but you and I both know that is an ugly front face.
How about under 17 for Arden Coger Jr., a 16.74. Nathan Waterfield still in second place. Calvin Willard and Walt Page, despite all that, able to get sub-20 with a 19.97.
Yeah, but Tommy, that barely sub-20. He's sitting 4th in Ram points in this discipline right now with our marquee matchup about to come to the stage.
Yeah.
If we see a 19-second run from either one of these guys that is stepping up now, I'll quit my job. I'll be done.
Okay,
I'll
all
walk off the stage.
All right, the
You can
limo's
finish
waiting.
this on your own.
The limo's idling right now.
By limo, you mean my Uber driver.
Jason Lentz currently 7th place. Ram overall points going up against first place, Matthew Coger.
All right, gentlemen.
And Tommy, he's going to pick up Ram
ready.
points here. It's Jason Lentz.
ready.
He's an exceptional
3,
standing
2,
block cutter.
1,
This is likely to go very well for him. However, he's in a hole. I mean, he's in a chasm in terms of Ram overall points. Both these guys, synchronized front faces, synchronized swings, same pattern. Look at this cut going on between 2 top.
Oh my God.
That is unbelievable.
That's awesome. That's the closest standing block we've ever seen on TV.
That was awesome.
These guys are gunning for a new truck, a John Deere Gator, prize money, all that stuff. None of that meant anything. This was two childhood buddies going head-to-head in a synchronized standing block match.
Since they were 13 years old, these two have been doing this together. I think the practice paid off. I tell you what, it looked even closer than that. 1/10 of a second separating Matt Coger and Jason Lentz for 1 and 2 in the standing block chop. Arden Coger Jr. hanging on for 3rd place.
I want to know what it's like to compete against your childhood friend out here at such a high level.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up, 5 minutes right down the road from each other, and we started at the same time, developed together, trained together, and we become double buck partners together, and it takes a lot of pride in each other just to do that well, and then we still compete for ourselves and try to put the best times we possibly can, and sometimes he beats me, I beat him, and that's just the nature of it, and it's a pretty good feeling.
Absolutely. When you're up here with Matt, are you inspired to chop harder knowing that he's your buddy, you grew up doing this together? Is it more of a friendly competition up here between you and him?
Oh yeah, it's a pretty tough competition from the beginning, but yeah, I like it. He's a good competitor, and I love chopping against him. He makes me go better, makes me compete to the best of my ability.
Sweet moment between two childhood friends. Thank you guys, and good luck the rest of the competition.
There's a look at this great facility here at Tinley Park, Illinois, and inside what's going on is Matt Coger on the rails and running very smoothly toward his 4-peat there. Can anyone derail him? Walt Page with the best shot, 17. 13 points, Arden Coger Jr., and so it goes down into the pack, and the pack has got a long way to go to catch Matt Coger. Of course, Matt Coger picking up right where he's left off, as dominant as he has been the last 3 years, with 3 disciplines left to go today. Next up, well, a lot of horsepower being brought to bear on these very specialized pieces of equipment, the big single buck saws.
That's a nice beard right there.
The elusive ginger beard, a bit of a unicorn, not commonly seen in the wild.
Yeah, come prepared to laugh at yourself, and we'll be happy to join in too, egged on by our announcers here at the STIHL Timber Sports Series U.S. Championships for 2016. And on the right there, that's Matt Coger shooting for his 4th consecutive U.S. title here, and off to a great start as we take a look at the Ram overall points, and Matt Coger, who came out with the lead after the second discipline, extends it after 3. 23 to 17 points, his nearest competitor in Walt Page. Fans at home, now pay close attention. If you want a Gator, we'll be giving one lucky fan a John Deere Gator XUV 590i crossover utility vehicle valued at over $10,000, or a chance for other STIHL equipment prizes. Head over to STIHLTimbersports.com where you can enter for a chance to win. You can also enter for a chance by following us on Twitter at twitter.com/Timbersports and answering one of our weekly trivia questions, along with using the hashtag Timbersports. Enter online now. You could be riding a John Deere Gator soon. Well, our 4th discipline, the single buck, is on the way. The single buck saw is coming out now. They may look like a centuries-old tool, but there's a lot of technology in today's version, as we find out on Flicked Facts.
Over time, hand saws have grown and changed in the interest of racing. People are seldom content with going slow, so we're trying to create the tool that gets the contestant from the top of the log to the bottom as fast as possible. For the longest time, technology from the 1900s dominated the sport. Over time into the 90s and early 2000s, rather than having a cutter configuration of teeth and rakers, race saw manufacturers chose to go to an M tooth, creating a tooth that looked quite like the letter M. More recently, this technology has gotten tuned up.
These saws having a price tag of $1,600 to $2,000.
Saws are getting faster and faster. Operators are getting more and more powerful and committed.
It used to be if you didn't have an M-tooth, you were out of the game. Now it's if you don't have a 2-peg and raker, you're out of the game. 2 teeth that cut, a raker that cleans the chip out.
They always want to go 1 stroke less that can go through that 19-inch pine log as fast as possible.
Here we go, good matchup, 1 and 2 in Ram overall points. On the left, Walt Page. On the right, Matthew Coger.
All right. gentlemen, timers ready.
I mean, how can you not get excited about this matchup?
No.
Number one, number two, are on the right, our three-time defending champ. On the left, the guy who's sitting in the best possible situation to dethrone our three-time champ, but it isn't going to happen in this single block cut. Matt Coger motoring through the bottom third, looking to drive that off, cleans through the bottom, a 14-1-7 showing on the unofficial clock.
Well, in the back of your mind, 7 of these competitors, you're thinking, they're got to be hoping for an off day a little bit for Matt Coger, but no sign of that so far. Almost 2 seconds better than his cut in the semifinals. He steps it up again in the single buck.
You know, for me, that was a good cut. And I know I can improve on that, and I know I can cut it faster. But for right now, you know, I'm not going to worry about anything else other than going out and doing my very best. You know, I'm going to cut the block that's in front of me, make a hot saw run, win or lose. At the end of the day.
Stand number 1, Nathan Waterfield getting ready to go. Heat number 2 of the single buck competition. Calvin Willard on the right. Both of them products of collegiate programs, which they did very well and been very competitive since then in the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series.
Well, Tommy, you watch professional golf tournaments, the professional golfers have caddies. Those caddies are not just some slouch, some high school, you know, student who's doing this on the weekend.
No.
They are professional golfers themselves. If you're going to cut the single buck, you want Dave Jewett running the wedge, talking you through it, saying the right things, coaching you through the right pace, and Nathan Waterfield, with that coaching, rips off a solid, low 13-second run.
Nathan Waterfield jumping up to the top 4 now in the single buck at 12.78. And Coger hanging in there in second. Coming up, last heat, Arden Coger Jr. and Dave Jewett, who both bested that time in the semifinals. See if they can do it again.
All right, gentlemen, timers ready.
And I can tell you, these two guys love to beat up on each other in the single block.
Through the years.
Oh, yeah. Look at the difference in style. Arden Coger Jr. just hogging through the wood. Dave Jewett, an immaculate technician. Wow, Jewett is smoking through the bottom of that block. Come on! Yeah, he knows he's got it.
Unofficially, that's the best time of the championships by far.
Dave is a huge advocate for hoeing off that near wood, for really cutting on that pull stroke. And that's what he keeps doing over and over as he's talking to Waterfield. He keeps showing like his arms pulling in like, yeah, that pull stroke has ripped the wood off.
Yeah, those two got the job done. Dave Jewett, number 1 at 11.16. Arden Coger Jr., 11.91. And Nathan Waterfield strong as well in 3rd place.
I like seeing when you get emotional. And yeah, I'm a man of extremes. Like I said in that previous interview, I'm extremely good or extremely bad. So, yeah, I already smashed my earmuffs back in the locker room. So, you know, that's the bad emotion. So the good emotion is going to come out eventually. And it's no disrespect to any of the competitors. It's just I beat up on myself a lot. So when I finally it comes together, it's just got to come out somewhere.
Look at those Ram total point standings right there, and Matt Coger basically untouchable if we stopped it right now and went straight to the hot saw competition. He's got 8 points on Arden Coger Jr., who you'll notice has moved up ahead of Walt Page into the 2nd place spot, though. We don't have to do that, though. We have one discipline in the interim. Anything can happen. It's the underhand, and it's coming up next. Right now, though, let's take a moment in honor of another honoree in the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series Hall of Fame. This is probably the best and maybe the best known ever to come out of the United Kingdom, the one and only Spike Milton in our John Deere Legacy moment.
Well, Spike Milton. I do a lot of training camps down under with Spike, and that guy is, I would say he was one of the toughest competitors out of Great Britain, but I would say he may be the best coach that I've ever seen. He's very patient. He speaks in a way that everybody can understand.
Very generous man. You know, he's a gentleman for sure, and I feel like he's probably the best communicator for our sport.
Anybody with any sort of chopping or sawing technique, Spike is able to just help them out, tell them what they're doing wrong, he's a very caring guy when it comes to helping out every other competitor in the sport, and that is what he's doing now. It's a good thing that he's part of STIHL.
He knows the sport, and he's very involved with it.
STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series U.S. Championships presented by Ram from Tinley Park in Chicago, Illinois. 8 competitors on this final day with 2 disciplines left to go, and our defending champion shooting for his 4th title, Matt Koger, as we get ready to head into the underhand chop.
In the underhand chop, the idea is to sever the block in half as quick as possible from standing on top of the block. Time starts on go. You'll cut half the block facing this direction, turn around, and cut the second half from the other side. And your time ends when the block is severed.
Down to the final 2 disciplines right there on stand number 1, Calvin Willard. Stand number 2, Walt Page, Dave Jewett on stand number 3, and Nathan Waterfield on number 4. All of these guys, I say, hungry for points.
All right, gentlemen. Timers ready. Contestants ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
You know, ironically enough, guys like Dave Jewett and Nathan Waterfield down on stands 3 and 4, they've been in this deficit. They've worked their way out. Oh, look at Waterfield with an early turn around the 10-second mark. We can't see the front side of the block to see what went on, but they started to work themselves on this Ram points deficit. And this is one of their strong. It is Waterfield. Wow, Nate Waterfield besting Walt Page in that heat. Waterfield, a little bit of wood left on the bottom, but he's really got a ton of space open on the top. He's cleared that path to see the bottom. Waterfield working his way back out of the hole.
Yesterday the wood was better than that. I wanted to put 10 in the front. I did put 10 in the front with the idea that it would be like maybe 7 in the back if I was going well. Cut a nice front, I thought, but it was not the wood that we cut yesterday. Started the drive sequence, instantly chipped again, and then drove again. Maybe the wood's not that good, maybe I wasn't cutting that good.
Here we go, the second and final heat of the underhand, Matt Slingerland. Station number 2, Jason Lentz. Arden Koger Jr. on 3, and Matt Koger on 4. Will Jason Lentz and Matt Koger give us a sort of a reprise of their standing block performance? We can only hope.
All right, gentlemen.
This entire heat could
Timers
look
ready.
like that. I mean, let's be honest.
Contestants
Any one of
ready.
these guys
3,
could
2,
be right
1,
in there.
Go.
I tell you what, though, watch for Arden Koger Jr. just to lay this out. We've been talking about his swing speed, and it just, whoa, what is going on with Jason Lentz? I wish I had x-ray vision to see the other side of that log. I cannot believe that he got the job done on that. And now I'm really, yeah, there it is. Oh, he bailed way too early on that. This is where, and Tommy, I sound like a broken record, I know, but this is where that mental maturity is missing for Jason Lentz.
Yep.
He will get there. He will get there. He will get a Ram truck. It's not going to be this year.
There you go, Matt Koger rolls on 1763. First place points, 8 points in the 5th discipline, the underhand chop. Matt Slingerland, Nathan Waterfield, Arden Koger Jr., all respectable, but nowhere near Matt Koger. Pretty much the same story in Ram overall points. Matt Koger in an absolute tsunami versus the rest of this field of 8 competitors total who made it through all the qualifying here today. And plenty of battles going on for points, for prizes on down the line. But Matt Koger looking so strong on top of that leaderboard as we head into the final event, that one where anything can happen, the loudest, the fastest, the most unpredictable man versus machine in many ways, the hot saw.
The STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series on ABC is brought to you by Ram. Guts, glory, Ram. Duluth Trading, designed and tested by tradesmen. And Dinty Moore. Lumberjacks eat more, Dinty Moore.
U.S. Championships, the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series from Tinley Park, Illinois. We started with a whole bunch of the best choppers and sawyers from across the country, down to 8 for this final day, and now we're down to one discipline remaining. Matt Coger, just the prohibitive favorite on top of this leaderboard there, but plenty of prizes, plenty of pride on the line as well as we head into the final event, the hot saw.
The hot saw event's one of the most difficult events. A huge chainsaw, snowmobile engine in a chainsaw. It's 325 cc's, that's about 70 horsepower. The hot saw's 3 cuts and 6 inches of wood, and a good time is under 7 seconds. Comes down to that at the end of the day, and tough event.
Kevin Holtz, I think it's time for the tribute to start for Matthew Coger. His performance in this upcoming heat, this next heat of the hot saw, is actually part of the victory lap. He's had these guys closed out since, well, about a discipline ago.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Dave Jewett sort of interrupting that victory lap. Dave Jewett just pouncing on this chunk of white pine. Exceptional form, no hesitation, thin to win on that last cut. Nicely done, Dave Jewett.
Dave Jewett, 5.44 for the best cut of the championships in 2016. Final heat of the hot saw. One more Coger to take a look at today after Matthew Coger's already closed this thing out, the championship for 2016. How about a former champion, Arden Coger Jr., going up against Calvin Willard in this final heat, and Arden Coger Jr. can be a spoiler in a sense right now. Dave Jewett has laid down the best hot saw time of this competition, best of all the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Series all year long in 2016. Arden Coger can ruin his party for him right here.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Oh my gosh!
No. He might have done it.
Everyone was watching Arden Coger Jr., but it's Calvin Willard instead. Look at this run from Calvin Willard, set up in beautiful form, quick up in, no wasted motion, just slamming. That saw is smoking through the wood.
Calvin Willard, your winner in the hot saw, 5.440. When we add the O, because the time for Dave Jewett was 5.445. 5/1,000ths of a second was the difference between Calvin Willard and Dave Jewett, 1 and 2 in the hot saw. The final Ram overall points, no surprise to anyone right there. What an overwhelming performance for the 4th consecutive year for Matt Coger. Just tremendous, tremendous performance here on this final day in Tinley Park. Yeah, how about this tie for 3rd place? Nathan Waterfield on the left, Walt Page on the right, possibly starting a new tradition here, hoisting the Angry Beaver from Duluth Trading Company. We'll have to remember that one for next year. As we head on up the leaderboard, how about 2nd place? Arden Coger Jr., a great performance from him. Second only to his cousin Matt Coger as he takes possession of the brand new John Deere Gator.
Get your hands together for Mr. Corey Jobe, Director of the Illinois Office of Tourism. And second, get your hands together for Mr. Bjorn Fisher, President of STIHL USA. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion with a score of 42 points and the first 4-time U.S. champion, Matt Coger.
Sir, 4 times in a row. What do you think about getting up there, winning 4 times, along with the likes of Jason Wynyard and the late, great David Bolstad, who won this series multiple times in a row, 4 in a row, youngest champion in the history of the STIHL Series?
Yeah, first off, it's hard to be compared to those guys. You know, I looked up to them, and I said, hey, I want to be like that. And, sorry.
There's 2 years in a row I've made him cry, so I got to be nice to him. How about we'll go one deeper. You as well have a new daughter that was born about 2 months ago. What do you want to say to her out there after Daddy's won 4 in a row?
You can do anything you put your heart to.
Sir, this is yours. As is tradition, go ahead and hop in the truck, give her a start, and honk that horn, brother. Congratulations. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, representing the United States at the World Championships this summer in Stuttgart, Germany, as part of the 90th anniversary of STIHL, Matthew Paul Koger.
Well, there it is, truck number 4 for Matt Koger. That represents a lot of superlatives in these lumberjack sports here. STIHL Timber Sports overall champion of the United States for 2016.
It's time for the Ram Guts and Glory moment.
Both these guys, synchronized front faces, synchronized swings, same pattern. Look at this cut going on between two top. Oh my God! That is unbelievable!
That's the closest standing block we've ever seen on TV.
That was awesome.
That's it for our championship. Thanks to the folks in Tinley Park, Illinois, all these fantastic competitors, all the crowd on hand, and you for joining us on the STIHL Timber Sports Series.